Hey guys, how are you doing today? We're going to talk about today how to use the recorded files from your X32. So our X32 rack that I talked about a couple years ago, we're no longer using as our main console. We now have the Allen and Heath SQ7 that we use on our Sunday mornings, but we do use our X32 now as our rehearsal console, and we also use it to record our rehearsals. For the times that we have to do church online only, we do pre-record worship. So on Thursday nights when we have rehearsal, we record a worship set at the end of that night as well. And I take the files from the X32 and I bring them back and I comp those all down. We have the unit that goes in that lets you put in the 2 SD cards. They have to be 32 gig cards. You can't put a larger one in there. It won't read it correctly, but you'll put 1 or 2 SD cards into that and it'll let you record your files to that SD card. And the X32 will record all 32 channels into that card. But it comes in kind of a weird file format. It makes WAV files, but all of your 32 are within one WAV file. So let me show you that real quick. So we jump into the computer. We just had our rehearsal last night and recorded for this weekend. And the files that it creates, it makes a little folder on your SD card and it creates these 2 files. And it creates multiple more files the longer you record. So you can generally record about an hour and a half or so onto one SD card. So it'll make multiple files as it goes along, and basically the more time that you record, the more of these files that you'll make. So often from a long enough session, you may have 3, 4, or 5 of these files that come in, and all it is your files broken up into timestamps. But to open these up, you have to export these into your individual files if you want to use them that way. I have my kick on channel 1, my drums on channel 2, and that sort of thing. So if I want to do those separately, you have to open these files up. Now I've tried it a few different ways. I've done it in GarageBand, I've done it in Logic. Both of those are really slow and clunky. It doesn't seem to want to open up properly. I've also used Digital Performer, which we use for our tracks right now, and I also have the same problem in there. It's just slow and chunky. Honestly, the best software that I've found for doing this is Audacity. Free software, open source, that you can download for Mac or PC, and it works really well to do this. So let me show you how I go about this. So really all I have to do is now I just take these 2 files, these are my recording session from last night, and I drag them over into Audacity and just let them export. Now our worship set was about 15 minutes or so last night, so we've got these 2 files that'll open up. And it takes a little bit of time, but once they finish importing, you'll see it all populate out. So we'll just wait a few seconds here. This will just be a couple for you, but hold on a moment. 1 down. All right, so now all these files have imported into Audacity. Didn't take very long, about 30, 40 seconds or so, and it opens them all up. Now, if you look at this, what you're seeing here is, so this is my kick mic right here. Number 1 up here, 011, is the first run through, and then it adds, let me zoom out a little here. And then number 2 is the time that didn't fit with the next one. And then if I had a longer period of time, there would be a 3rd one and all that. So what I have to do here, the easiest thing to do is to go through, shrink these all down. So let me do that real fast. So what I end up having to do is I'll go through and select the additional tracks here. And I will get my little move tool here in Audacity. And I'm gonna click them and drag them all up into place. Now Audacity is a little bit quirky. It won't let me scroll all the way to the top in one shot, and it also loses my selection once I get to a decent spot. So I have to go and reselect all of the ones I wanna do and move. And then I'm gonna take them, drag them up into place, and move them over. This now creates 1 track for my entire kick, 1 track for my drums, and so forth. So these are the only channels I'm using So then I'll go down to all the blank ones that I just pulled everything off of, all of my number 2s, 3s, if there's more than that, things of that nature. And let's just go ahead and remove those tracks. And then I'll come in and I'll name these tracks whatever I need them to be. So I know what my tracks are. So this first one is the kick. I have a single mic that is catching the rest of the drums because I don't have a full drum mic package for using in rehearsal. Let's see, this one is EG1. And then all these tracks were blank. I didn't have anything running on them. And then these are all of the tracks that we were using. So here's the click. Obviously, it's a giant wave across here. Our click and guide is on that one. And then all of our different tracks here. So once I have all of these named, I'm not gonna bother doing the rest of these. I'll go through, select all these ones that I'm not using, and we'll go ahead and we will remove those. So these are gonna be my tracks. I'll select them all, and I will export multiple. I know you can't see that because of where my thing is recording, but I'll go to File, Export Multiple, and then I'll choose where they're gonna go, and you can see I've already done that for this worship set, and I've exported them into a folder. And then once I hit export here, it exports all of these individual tracks that I've got left in here as individual WAV files. And that gives me the tracks that I need. So if you've got all 32 recording something on them, you can then go in and name them. It's a little tedious to just get through and know where everything is and rename stuff. The X32 will not name them what it is named on your console, so just know that it's gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4, and you're just gonna have to figure that out. I can then export these out, and I don't do all of my editing and stuff and all of my comp down within Audacity, obviously. I then take these files and I pull them into Logic, and then I mix down our music in Logic and can bounce that out, and now I've got a good bounce of my file, can do anything that I need to do within Logic on them. I may make a video of my process going through Logic at another time, but I just wanted this to be a really quick one to show you how you get the files out of the X32 to make them usable for a good mix down at the end. So I hope that was helpful to you. If you've got any questions, leave them in the comments below. Like, subscribe, do all the things that YouTube tells you to do. I'm not trying to grow a YouTube channel. I'm just trying to help people with the knowledge that I've learned over the years. So I hope this was helpful to you, and we'll see you guys next time.